We could do a cupboard under the stairs and be referential.
Oh!
Yeah.
I kind of love
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's fantastic. Say Kythe sometimes used to sleep down there and pretend that she was an orphan.
Yes, pretend that she was an orphan.
This ain't your grandmother's dusty old poetry book. Fall in, bookworm maggots. This is Poetry Bootcamp, third Friday of every month on the Poets at War Creative Network.
For men grow weary of fairyland when the dragon is a dream, and tire of the talking bird in the tree, the singing fish in the stream, and the wandering stars grow stale, and the wonder is stiff with scorn. For this is the honor of fairyland and the following of the horn.
More difficult for us to buy stuff, but other than that, no.
He must have been coming in on at the tail end of another conversation.
Does he ever not come in on the tail end of another conversation?
Whenever I can't find other people to talk to, I do.
Right.
You guys are my fallbacks.
Oh boy, how are you?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Good. I'm telling you, dude, you need to watch Not Just a Goof documentary.
Not Just a Goof.
It's the Goofy movie documentary that just came out for the 30th anniversary of a Goofy movie.
Oh. Interesting. Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah,
will do.
You get a chance to see it, you should. It's a really good documentary.
Okay. Fantastic. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the plan?
I didn't get a draft written, so we're writing a draft.
Okay.
I needed the characters and couldn't remember them all, and so I couldn't outline it, so I couldn't write it. So I was like, okay.
Dang it.
Oh, it's all good. We're writing a draft.
I forgot to send that to you. I saw the message and was like, yep, I'll do that, and then got distracted at work.
No big deal. No big deal. We're waiting to see if Brendan
Let me go ahead and share that PDF and copy.
I may end up needing to use text edit to write it on camera well, quote unquote on camera, on screen. So that we have a video version of it for people to follow along with. But I tried doing Google Docs. It takes way too much of the screen, and there's no way around it as far as that goes. So I have no problem reading it back to you guys. It's part of the deal. So
yeah,
we'll be writing a draft. And writing poetry is narrative poetry is halfway between writing a story together and writing a song together. So it's going to be really fun, I feel like.
Funky again and not letting me interact with UI elements, so sending it's being difficult.
Okay. Well, there's Brendan. Hello, Brendan.
You have a very curly mustache.
Yes, I do. I learned how to finally do it in a way that is generally pleasing. So
it looks like you look like a Disney villain.
Yeah. Or Raleigh Fingers. Does anyone else know Raleigh Fingers?
Nope.
Famous Hall of Fame baseball player. I think he's Hall of Fame. He's a pitcher for the Oakland A's.
Nope.
Anyway.
Baseball? Sports ball?
Sports ball?
What are you talking about? What are these sports you speak of? That sounds like physical activity.
I'm trying to think of other good guys that have had mustaches that I really like, and I know there are some, but they're not coming to mind right now.
Yeah, but none of them look like that.
Yes, they do. They have the handlebar mustache. Oh, his is not quite as big as mine, but Mr. Banks in Mary Poppins.
Oh, it's been a hot minute since I've seen Mary Poppins.
Their .pages file. I'm sorry to anybody who doesn't have a Mac.
It's fine, just enough for us to get what we need. We're writing a draft today. We're writing a draft today of the first poem.
Oh.
Also, just before we get to that, as far as stuff that I've been working on, I realized that the map that I drew, even though I really love it, like I'm super happy with the way it turned out, won't actually work for the world building that we wrote in because I didn't build in the Straits of Gibraltar to the map. And without the Straits of Gibraltar, you can't have the Mediterranean civilizations built. So I'm just tracing a map of Europe now, and then we'll draw our own borders and stuff. But yeah,
So that entire
that's the plan as far as
episode
the
of you
map.
talking about the map is now defunct.
Pretty much.
Yes. I mean, not entirely, because we still have, like, in the long run, this actually makes everything a lot easier.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's almost like you're
Because
dealing with Europe.
exactly, yes. But yeah,
So-
all of the specific geography is now completely out because I'm not as good as at drawing maps as God is. So
Wow, what a concept.
who would have known?
What a novel
By the way,
idea.
I'm glad that you laughed at my joke about the summary, and specifically the names
About
of the
which?
characters.
Oh, yes, that was great.
Tell the people at home what he said.
Karathras and what was it?
Tarathras and Contrapasto.
Yep.
Because,
Karathras and Contrapasto.
look, it took me a minute to remember that they were Cornelius and Caraticus,
Caraticus.
but like off the top of my head, I couldn't think of it, and I'm like, no, they're two C names, and I know that one of them has an N, and the other one I confused with Carathras, so
Yep.
I'm calling them Carathras and Contrapasto now.
Did I confirm that you had seen Brendan Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
No, we have not confirmed that.
Okay, so you have not seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Have you seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
I have not seen Chitty Chitty. Or, no, let me be more accurate. I don't remember seeing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Okay.
There is a chance that I watched it when I was really young, but if I did, I only watched it once and it didn't stick.
Yeah.
You should definitely go watch it. It's such a great movie.
It really is.
I keep being told that.
One.
That's where I got the name Caraticus, which is why I mentioned it.
Ah. That
Karaticus Puffs.
There are so many of these films that I actually do vaguely remember watching, but I don't think I actively paid attention to them or anything.
Well, it's like I know I watched The Dark Crystal more than once. I can't remember a single line or scene from it except for one I don't want to even call it an establishing shot of the final room with the crystal. That's the only thing I have a decent memory in my head of. I don't know the plot of that movie. Yeah.
The plot's
and it's not like the problem with Totoro.
You do know the labyrinth, though.
Oh, of course I know the labyrinth. What gremlin do you take me for?
I don't believe I've seen the Dark Crystal once.
As far as I understand, you're not missing much.
Yeah,
I've heard decent things about it.
It has decent stuff in it. The plot is kind of bunk. The actual production, of course, is incredible because it's Henson trying to do something awesome and amazing, and of course they do. But it's not a great story as far as stories go. Any which way. Okay, so I've got our people together. Let's begin by I'm going to begin outlining off screen and then move my stuff on screen a little bit.
I hate to be the proverbial pooper of parties, but I do have a time limit today.
That's fine.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you mind?
As do I, actually.
Okay.
So.
When is our time limits?
My current time limit, I have a timer set for 50 minutes. We can go.
Cool.
Great. My timer's 6:30 at the absolute latest.
6:30 your time, which would be...
Yes, 7:30 yours.
Right. Got it. Cool. All right. So, basically we need to figure out the order in which we're doing stuff. As far as this first scene goes, we're doing our establishing scene that we've talked about multiple
tracking shot.
times. Yeah, our tracking shot. So we need an inciting incident, and then like basically we need the order of the people that we're going to be introducing through this tracking shot, and then we can kind of Rube Goldberg this scene together. I feel like that's the way I want to approach it. So outlining stuff, thoughts.
So once again, I am somewhat irrationally committed to this in medias res thing for this shot. Would a decent opening, like inciting incident, be more describing what the inciting incident was? Something along the lines of, the parents didn't know what happened. The situation had gotten away from them.
See, I was
And
thinking
then
more
figure
along
out
the
something
lines.
like that.
See, I was thinking even more like immediate, like what's our baby again? Looking at baby Tomothy. Tomothy screamed at the top of his lungs, and they were just like immediately into it. Go ahead.
What is like the one girl, the dark girl?
Kythe.
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 Yeah.
What
Yep.
Initially, I'm just imagining like she's trying to feed the baby something.
I don't want to do Kythe first. I think Kythe needs
Yeah,
to
no,
be.
definitely not.
Kythe needs to be like a weird big-lipped alligator moment toward the middle end of this thing, this chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, and I can't help. I can't help but think of Reuben was the eldest of the children of Israel, with Simeon and Levi next in line. Right. Now, I mean, yeah, it's Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, but to a certain degree, if you have parents who are trying to restore order after chaos erupted, who would be the person they go to first? Theoretically,
not the oldest in this situation, but
not the
definitely
oldest
Zell.
in this situation, but it would be the next oldest,
it would be
or
Zell,
whoever
Zell.
is the whatever you want to call it.
Okay, I'm gonna write this down so that we have it.
Chief.
I'm writing some stuff down too. So Tomothy, I think what's gonna happen is mom Felicilin, she is trying to find the twins. We don't even know her motivation immediately. Tomothy goes nuts. She picks him up and starts bringing him to Zell. Like that's the chain of action. What do you guys think of that?
That sounds good.
So we are introducing in order so far. Yeah, basically Tomothy starts screaming. Felicilin, the mother, picks him up and begins taking him to Zell because she's busy.
Okay.
That's just the first chain of events.
That worked. That actually worked really well.
All right, so our actual order of introduction so far is Tomothy, Felicilin, Zell. Do we want to bring Dad next? Do we want to bring Nicodemus?
Have
you found them yet?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the inciting incident of this area, or of this scene, is them telling them that people are coming over, right? That's what we kind of decided.
No, we talked more in like they are trying to find the twins to have the conversation of if they want to go to this school, the nature of the people coming over. Basically they know everybody knows at this point. I think some people are coming over. They don't know the specific details of that. Tomothy screaming will be literally like the first line, right? So we're just we're going at this point.
I get that that's the first line. I'm just trying to make sure that I have in my head what the actual inciting incident here is, so that we can write from there.
Right. This is them trying to find Cornelius and Karaticus. And that was the inciting incident for this poem, right? And so basically,
right. Okay, but I think Alex is asking about the inciting incident for the chaos. Why is there chaos in the first place?
That is correct.
Tomothy screamed, and we're in a homeschool home with tons of people.
Got it. Okay, so this is just a regular everyday. Everybody knows that people are coming over, but this is just a regular everyday chaos, not a specially induced chaos.
Yes, and the only reason it feels so chaotic specifically to our POVs, which are Felicilin mainly and secondarily Nicodemus, is that they are looking for Cornelius and Caradicus and cannot find them.
Got it.
Okay. So
Okay.
once we get so we go Timothy, Felicilin, Zell, Nicodemus. Nicodemus is, have you found them yet? No, I haven't. Okay, so at this point, we've got a couple options. We have, I don't want to do Kythe yet, so I'm guessing Hugh. I don't think Ahaziah. What we could do Ahaziah, but it would be like he's stumbling into something he shouldn't, kind of a thing. If we did Ahaziah, and they have to go, no, honey, over here, or we go. But I'd rather him in his element, like actually.
Yeah.
In which case they'll have to go outside. If someone comes right at the point, at this point where they're together, I'm guessing sort of kitchen area. I'm imagining Zell being in the kitchen when she hands Timothy to her. She's like cooking a meal, right? And gives Felicilin a little report of what's gone down. So what's going down in the household, right?
Yeah.
And then.
So do they? So if Zell gives Felicilin a report of what's going on in the household, is the next thing that happens? She Felicilin asks Zell where Cornelius and Caradicus are, and Zell says, "I don't know. The last time I saw them, they went outside they went outside and trailed off that way past you." Something like that.
Okay, how about this? I like that.
So we're actually like, where are they going? Following the people who are telling them where,
right?
Type thing.
Here's what I'm thinking. What she says, what Zell does to give this report is she says, I don't know where they are. I think they went outside with Ahaziah. Nicodemus comes up at that point and says, "Have you found them yet?" No, but I think I know where they're going. Oh, did you see what Hugh's doing? He's playing with fire upstairs or something like that. You know, something not something that extreme, but like he's doing something he shouldn't.
Yeah. Hugh is practicing with his sword, is what I was imagining. Like he's out in the yard hitting the training dummy.
Right.
Type thing.
I kinda want a detour. At that point we see Kythe, then we get to Hugh. Hugh is corrected very quickly. Then they go outside to Ahaziah.
Yeah, that works.
Do you see that? Okay. So we go.
Yeah.
We go Nicodemus. Okay, then they have to divert toward Hugh. And then we see Kythe. We have our little moment, weird creepy moment with Kythe. And then Hugh proper. Hugh, I'm gonna put sword just for my reference. And then Ahaziah.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, sir.
Don't have the creepy moment yet.
Okay.
I agree, kind of.
All right, we'll hold Kythe back.
What you can do is set it up.
Yes,
Kythe is walking with something innocuous.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, hi, Kythe," whatever. You know, like there's nothing.
Yep.
They don't think about it necessarily because they're so focused on this other thing. And then later on, you see Kythe using that thing on something a little like. Then you get the creepy moment. You set her up once, and then have the payoff be later in the poem.
Should there be a kind of aside in the first scene where we meet Kythe and set that up with, she was doing something innocuous, which was odd for her, but Lynn moved past it or something like that.
Yeah,
seemingly innocuous.
We could have like the mother make note that it's unusual behavior, but not have it be like, oh, it's innocuous. Yeah. That's odd. Have it be like, she was bringing a teddy bear along behind her. Her mother thought it odd that it was still intact, and then or something like, you know,
a teddy bear she had never seen before and had no clue of its origins. However, it seemed fine.
Yeah, it's something like, right, or whatever.
It seemed normal, which was odd for Kythe. but she moved on.
Daniel, you had your hand
Something
raised
along
a
those
second
lines
ago.
is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
With the Kaif thing, I was just thinking, I think one person would notice something was up, but then get shooed away.
Well, the problem
Well,
is
it's not that anything is up; it's that we're setting it up. Nothing's weird now.
right. And Daniel's saying that somebody would notice that something weird is going on, but the problem that we have is we've got one POV character and we're trying to move through, so we need to get
Gotcha.
characters off stage fast.
Gotcha.
So when
Yeah.
the mom bumps into Kaif, she shouldn't be with anyone at that point. It's just Kaif moving through, while the mom is moving from Zell to whoever's next, right? We're talking about shot blocking here from a filmmaking perspective.
Yep.
And unfortunately, because we don't have an actual camera, we have to use words.
So, okay.
The inferior
Let me
form
just
of
run through what
communication.
we've got so far at the moment. Tomothy screams. Felicilin picks him up, gives him to Zell. Zell gives a brief report of what's going on in the house, including that Hugh is up playing with his swords. Nicodemus comes in, says, "Have you found him?" "No, but I need to get to Hugh right now." Splits off, and we assume, I'm guessing, Nicodemus is going outside. Mom diverts to Hugh. She notices Kaith, but scoots past it. We get to Hugh. We talk to him. And then what?
Well, she might at the end go, "Hey, have you seen the twins?" And Hugh goes,
Yeah.
points them in a direction.
Outside again with
Towards
Ahaziah.
Ahaziah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, or
Yeah.
towards the workshop.
Yeah.
You hit Ahaziah. I don't know who else is in this freaking list of people.
We got everybody, minus the twins. So at this point,
Yeah.
I feel
Okay, so
like
now she circles back, reaches Ahaziah, doesn't see, he's doing his thing, doesn't see anyone. Maybe she can ask him a question and he doesn't. He gives a response, but it's,
unclear.
Yeah.
Monosyllabic.
Yeah.
Or just sort of a point, like no words. And then she comes back. Then we get the payoff from
Right.
Kaith. We get the payoff then after Ahaziah. Bump back into.
I think that the Kaith thing should breathe for just a little bit more. Maybe have
So then
meet back up and
she
talk
goes
to each
to-
other for a couple of stanzas.
Yeah, Nicodemus, or whoever's the dad. Yeah.
How about
Nicodemus?
How about the end of the poem after they talk with? We have all four of them sit down. We'll come up with a quiet but untraditional place for them to talk to the twins, to find and talk to the twins. I'm not sure what yet, but something like that. And then have Kaith payoff be the thing that breaks them out of their discussion and ending the poem.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that works.
Ending the scene, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we need one more Kaith so we can do rule of three. One more, like, what about when she's coming back? Okay, so let's do so after Ahaziah we do another Kaith setup 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we do the unorthodox place to talk.
Pantry.
We have the talk. Pantry is actually great because then we could have the sourdough.
There we go. I've been yes.
Do we really want to give this? Well, if we're going to be at school most of the time, having the sourdough early, it would make more sense.
Well, he's part of the family in a sense. He's like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense.
We also haven't done the you have to summon the albatross thing.
Could sourdough theoretically
There
Couldn't
was
the,
Oh,
the
There was a-
sourdough,
Daniel, go.
the sourdough, could he potentially, would he be? I'm thinking of him being able to split and be in a couple places at the same time.
Maybe later, definitely not now.
Okay.
I don't have a
We're-
problem
Yeah,
with that
definitely
later.
not now.
honestly, I'm wondering if the sourdough is going to have to become a darling we need to kill.
Oh no.
I know you desperately want to keep it, but if it doesn't serve the story when you have limitations, you sometimes have to kill your darlings. Welcome to editing.
Okay.
He's not.
I'm not
he's
saying
not
we
needed
have
to
to
be killed
Possibly.
drop
yet.
it now, but I'm saying
Possibly.
we need to be open to the possibility that if it doesn't actually serve the story, you know,
The
drop 'em.
the
And-
sourdough is Chekhov's gun.
okay, but what's the murder? That's the problem.
Right. No, we have that's going to be way later in the season. And I've got ideas for that. Basic ideas would be, like he said, if he can break off into different situations, you've got the absolute perfect espionage situation set up for when they really need it.
Okay. Hear me out. We have the splitting off thing, and he ends up sacrificing himself by espionaging in a kitchen, like having 3 or 4 different versions of himself in a kitchen, and all of them get faked at some point in time. Like, really big emotional scene. He dies, and everybody mourns for the general who is lost to them, and then somehow next season he comes back because he's actually because he's the ruler of hospitality, right? Is the idea. He's basically like the avatar of the ruler of
Well,
hospitality.
he's a ruler in the realm of hospitality. You have to have multiple rulers in the same realm
Yeah.
for that to
Okay.
follow through.
So he's a ruler
So I
of the
am
realm
Groot.
of hospitality.
I am
and so he
sourdough.
comes back.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well-
exactly.
Well,
Groot,
here's the okay.
basically.
But here's the other thing. I don't want to give away all of the fun cards in the first episode.
Right.
In the
yeah.
first
Yes, of
poem
course.
of the first thing. I don't think this you can have the sourdough maybe chime in with something, but then that would take away the punch for me from in the middle of the season when there's a person who goes to this public school thing who doesn't have a sentient sourdough, and Cornelius and Caraticus mention the general.
All right.
They
Fair
keep
enough.
mentioning
In
the
which case,
general.
right. In which case, we would need to
Yeah.
choose a different place beside the pantry, because I feel like not giving the sourdough in the pantry and having the sourdough as an option is equally like you can't do that.
Sure. We could do a cupboard under the stairs and be referential.
Oh,
Yeah,
I kind of love
I like
that.
that. I like that a lot.
That's fantastic. Say Kythe sometimes used to sleep down there and pretend that she was an orphan.
Yes, pretend that she was an orphan.
Have a little
Yes, I love
sleeping.
it.
Have a
I love it.
little
I love
sleeping
it.
That's why
spot
she
under
goes
there. Have a little sleeping spot under there, right? She keeps up and everything, because sometimes she likes to and you have that as a line from Cornelius or Caraticus to the parent. Why is there a sleeping bag under here? Do we have someone else living with us? No, that's just Kythe. She likes to pretend she's an orphan sometimes.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Oh, yes. Okay, under the stairs. All right. So, we do have an actual outline loose of events now. So, we can begin putting lines in.
So we were talking about the sourdough being introduced. Are we still introducing the sourdough this episode?
I don't think so, because we're doing the under the stairs now instead of the
Okay.
pantry. I think Brendan's right. I think
Okay.
there's better, more effective ways to introduce the sourdough starter that will be later on. And so for now,
Okay.
I think it'll be good to do this way.
I mean, bare minimum, I mean, if we wanted to, it could be a short thing like a teaser, but it's not necessary.
No, I don't
No,
think
I don't
using
think it's
it
necessary.
because it's the kind of one of the things that we can poo-poo Harry Potter as much as we like here, but one of the things that was effective about it was just the off-the-wall, out of nowhere elements of the magic that happened.
Yes.
And I think that we can take that element of storytelling and use it effectively still.
Agreed.
Yep.
All right. So we need a beginning. So Timothy yelled kind of a thing. Let me think of some words.
In
Timothy screamed at the top of his lungs. Good a first line as any to start. Top of his lungs. I need to establish he's a baby in the next line. His infantile mind, a skew, a screech, something like that. Something that feels like that kind of a word. It's not a word, but his infantile mind, feeling verb. Feeling verb of some kind. Timothy screamed at the top of his lungs. His infantile mind panicking. I can rhyme something with that. Let's try it
Panicked.
for now.
Panicked.
Panicked.
How about
That's
just
easier.
panicked?
That's easier to rhyme. His infantile mind panicked. Let's go rhyming dictionary just to have it up. I will need it for this one. I don't always need it, but when we're doing something completely new, it's good to have. Let's see. Rhyme zone.
We might have to rhyme something to Ahaziah. You're going to need it.
I'm aware. Okay, not seeing anything.
That I was just completing your sentence for you.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Can I get near rhymes? That it, than it. Timothy screamed at the top of his lungs. His infantile mind panicked. He looked around for maternal figures. Volcanist. That's a weird rhyme. Not saying to use it, just a weird one that popped up. Let's see. Vanished. He looked around for maternal figures. All had seemingly vanished. So Timothy screamed at the top of his lungs. His infantile mind panicked. He looked around for maternal figures. All had seemingly vanished.
Oh.
Then we describe the home and what he's seeing.
That works.
Okay. So here we go. Timothy screamed at the top of his lungs. Looked around for maternal figures. All had seemingly vanished. So what are we describing the home as? I'm picturing very wood, rustic, sort of cabin.
Yeah.
Is everyone agreed with that?
Yeah. The cozy home. We need to start. We need to start smaller. What room is he in? Living room.
I'm imagining living room floor, probably with on some kind of animal skin rug is what I'm seeing, but something that's like if he's big enough at this point, which I'm not sure of. I'm thinking very, very little. He's probably fine like that, but otherwise we would have to have some kind of barrier.
Okay. Just as a historical note, at this point, I believe in a rural setting, they likely would all be still sleeping in the same room at the time.
Correct.
I could be wrong on that, but I believe at this point they would still be doing that. So this would be like the main room, there would be bedrolls in the corner, and this is where they would be sleeping. We are more than free to change that because by the 1700s, there were definitely
I'm fine with a communal
houses
sleeping
with
space.
individual bedrooms.
Right.
But
see, I'm fine with a communal sleeping space. What I was thinking and this is more fantasy, whatever, but imagine we have sort of like a great hall living room, and we've got a kitchen, back away off of stuff on the main floor, but then the upper floor is a loft that is one big sleeping area,
I'm down. That sounds great.
right?
That would make that would also work really well as far as like having that verticality to also allows you to have some really interesting factors whenever you're writing in that room. That's great. That sounds good
And we
to
can
me.
have a root cellar, a small cellar, nothing like a huge basement, but
Yeah.
having that the three vertical levels also gives it a sense of commonality with children who grew up in larger families, kind of a thing, which is, I think,
Yeah.
very tertiarily something that we want it to feel familiar, and not so completely foreign. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking, is like that top level is literally just a sleeping loft for everybody, and it's big enough for everybody, more than big enough for that and sleeping clothes and the things that you would normally have in bedrooms even today. But then downstairs
Yeah.
is your mainly your kitchen off to one side, and sort of like a big living room, great hall kind of situation.
Mhm.
We have an outhouse, we have a workshop.
Yeah. Outhouse workshop, as well as like pig pens and fence in areas for cows and farm and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts or
Okay.
objections or
Yep.
things you want to interject, Brendan or Daniel?
I'm trying to let them go. I'll see what I can come up with as far as describing the architecture.
You're good. I am cranking out notes, making good progress, but it's just
Sure.
slow.
Brendan's wheels are turning. I'm gonna attempt a little bit of the interior. He looked all around at the. What kind of wood are we dealing with in the region?
In this region, we're probably looking at fir primarily. One sec, let me make sure. So this is Germany area, right? This is northern
Yeah.
Germany.
Right. Yeah.
Trees common in northern Germany. Beech, hazel, sycamore, spruce, pine, juniper, fir, and another kind of spruce. So I'm good with saying fir personally,
Yeah. Pine or fir is
but
what I'm
we can use
leaning
any of
toward.
those.
Pine or fir is what I
Okay.
would be leaning toward, but yeah, I don't know how hard their pine is. So,
At this point in time, I feel like it's pretty safe to say that pine is going to be pretty hard because pine was all old growth at this point.
fair enough. Pine just feels homier to me, but that's because I'm in the South.
That's fair.
What do we think?
Pine, I have an inescapable linking of pine and 2x4s
Right,
because carpenter, but
right.
I'm good to go pine. I like pine. I like pine trees.
Yeah.
So
He looked all around at the pine logs, which served as his first walls, and then I'm on to the next line. And he screamed up towards the loft and continued to wail and bawl, BAWL.
do we want to rhyme BAWL, or do we want to do something with vault? Like really bring out that verticality, especially to him.
I'm fine with vault if you can get the full line. That's the thing. I'm trying to see, because we already got him screamed up toward the loft, and then you could say more about the loft than just his scream.
What's the line that we have so far?
The two couplets, or the couplet situation here, it's really 4 lines, but he looked all around at the pine logs which served as his first walls, and he screamed up towards the loft and continued to wail and bawl.
Yeah, that's better than anything I can immediately think of as far as rhyming vault.
We can always come back to it if we need to. That hits our
Yeah.
first beat, and then we're gonna get Felissa Ling coming in, his mom, to check on him and bring him over to Zell because she seems busy.
Yeah.
At which point we will
Yep.
be switching POV from Tomothy to her and sticking with her for the majority of this poem.
So where is she coming from?
I'm guessing
coming
front
from the
door.
outside?
She's coming from outside from the front area, right?
Okay.
The outhouse and the workshop are out back, right? They're
Yeah.
I picture them sort of in a wooded area in the front, sort of close to their natural path road, you know, sort of in the country, not super wooded, but just enough to where it's shady around the front of the house. And then the back is more like the open rolling fields.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm thinking she's looking out in the front area in case they went off to neighbors or something of that nature, and she's coming in from the front door, through the front door, to pick up her baby.
Yep, that works.
Okay. All right.
So
the next part will be Felissa Ling coming in. So we're still in Tomothy's POV. It should be a little baby boy seeing his mama, being excited, being like, "Oh, good, I'm finally getting relief." Right?
So we used the adjective maternal earlier, right?
Yes, he said Tomothy screamed at the top of his lungs. His infantile mind panicked. He looked around for maternal figures. All had seemingly vanished.
Okay. Then we should make certain to use the noun mother here to kind of concretize the the adjective maternal.
Fair. Trying to think of how to start this.
Yeah.
Anyone want to jump in?
You're kind of speaking something that's not my language yet with the
English
poetry. With the
No,
poetry.
Well, I'm not using any real poetic terms except for lines at this point. But I hear you.
For the most part,
through the front door, his mother quickly stepped.
No,
you don't want to tell that it's a mother. You don't want to. You need to show that it's a mother.
Okay.
And stepped is a weak verb.
Agreed.
Quickly as an adjective doesn't. Instead of saying quickly
Adverb,
stepped, you want to have a word that you want to imply. You want to imply it, but with a different word. Yeah, rush would be a better example. Here's the question. We said Felicity is sort of the like Nicodemus is one of the more heady theoretical, dives into the, dives deep and gets like lost in weird quirkiness. So Felicity is his foil. So she's going to be okay.
You're right in thinking this is her big beat, and it should be. We should be thinking of it that way.
So I really like the line in my head with practiced grace, but I don't know what would follow it up.
It also seems a bit like not concrete. Practiced grace can mean something, but it's very contextually dependent.
Yeah,
right.
And I'm practiced grace.
But my point is that you need to I don't know.
In a moment, not only what would be a secondary mother, a word for a secondary mother. I want it to be like in a moment, not only sisters, not the word I want to use, but something like that came, but his mother, basically to say something like his mother proper. I want to say it poetically, but like not only he's not only getting a maternal figure, he's getting the maternal figure. How do we say that
Yeah. Hmm.
in poetry? Not only
That is tricky.
yeah.
Like I know, like I can feel it on the
Mhm.
periphery of my mind, like the words that
See-
need to be there, but I can't.
See, I don't. And see, at that point, then I'm wondering if we need to take out maternal from the first line,
Which we might.
because now we have to. Because now we have to. We have to do all kinds of backflips to get mother to mean like the big mama, the true mother, the alpha mother,
Right.
the
right.
mother
Alpha
superior, like
Mother
like-
Prime.
mother prime.
No.
He
Like-
looked
like
okay. We're
maternal
changing
is
that
a
line. We're
great
changing that
word,
line.
but-
Yeah, we're changing
But
that
I'm
line.
thinking,
Good.
I'm wondering if we keep maternal, but what we do is to add emphasis, we double stack it rather than establishing it in one line and then following up in the, and then try to following up in the next line. We say we mention that he saw Felicity, his mother, and felt her maternal warmth or whatever. I don't know,
Right.
something
Okay,
stupid
so
like that.
Timothy
But like,
I changed it. I changed it for you. Timothy screamed at the top of his lungs. His infantile mind panicked. He looked around for loving arms. All had seemingly vanished.
sure.
Okay.
That
And
works.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a moment, not only. Okay, so now we're back to the moment she comes in. In a moment,
Okay.
I have so far. In a moment, not only. We're still in that space. We need a noun for somebody. Like I'm initially thinking something like nanny, but that doesn't work for this situation.
Is it like an older sister? I'm just trying to figure out who it
yeah.
is so that it works.
Well, the person
Yeah.
coming in is his mother. But
Right,
we're
but
saying in a moment,
was-
not only love. Okay, so we use loving arms. What can we say? Okay, in a moment, not only a hug.
Oh.
I don't like the word hug there, but something like that. Not only relief, not only what are we? It's the thing that he wants. The thing that he's crying out for. Not in a moment. Not only was his desire met
I've got an idea.
by hands, something like
I've
that.
got an idea.
Go ahead.
In a moment, not only the arms, but his mother in whole did appear.
Ooh.
What was that?
In a moment, not only the arms, but his mother in whole did appear.
Only the
Yep.
arms. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it.
Because babies, like I'm imagining POV, babies have a short POV. Like they really do see very short distances.
Right.
So
Well, like
that's a bit esoteric,
also
but I don't
see
think it's
it-
too esoteric for what we're doing.
no, I think it makes sense because like from the baby's POV, not only the arms, like anyone can hold it. It's just like the arms and
Right.
the other caregivers in its life are kind of just the extension of the parents in a way. So like the arms of them, the way I read it is like the caregiver, the sister, the aunt or uncle or whatever is an arm of a parent. Anyway, I'm reading more into it, but yes, good line. Good.
All right. In a moment, not only the arms, but his mother. Okay, well, wait till Alex gets back here. But I've got a couple of here for this spot, and I think that it's a good immediate to her being mom, and then we're gonna get more of her as she talks to Zell. Are you back, Alex? Is he back? More than
Hello?
likely. There he is. Okay, now you're back. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so here, how about this? In a moment, not only the arms, but his mother in whole did appear. She lifted and kissed his shiny bald head and said, "There, dear."
That's great.
And the shiny bald head gives a little bit of the comedy to the situation. It's not just, right? It's very, very sweet and tender and especially, poetic. And then it's like shiny bald head. Yeah, this is a stupid little kid. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
It's both, right? So, um, she after
See, part of
yeah, go ahead. If you don't like
no,
it, so you
never
can say
mind.
so.
Well, I mean, I feel like okay, I don't like repetition in like I don't like there. I would prefer something like it's okay or um hush hush my dear or something or
Hush now, dear.
hush now dear or if you're willing to bend a little bit what's the baby's name?
Tomothy.
Be-
And said, well, yeah, never mind. Anyway, you can say there, it's fine. It's just the problem.
I think it sounds musical to have that repetition there, but I am willing to be outvoted.
Okay, that's
Someone else?
That's fine if you think it works. It works. I mean, you're the
works.
you're the poeter here. I feel like there is for a moment that is so chaotic. Like I don't feel like there's enough time for a proper there. It would be maybe I've got you or something like
Okay.
but like I don't know. I feel like there if you're just going there and then moving on and trying getting to Val, right? Not Val, whatever her name is.
Yeah, Zell. It's Zeliana, but she goes by Zell.
Zell. Zell. Zell. I said Vel with a V.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I said that. I was unintelligent, but like I don't know. I don't like. I could see there in like a quiet moment of comfort, but that's just again. I have weird ideas, and I am not the master poet. So you do what you do, and I'll just suck it up. Daniel's very upset about me
Daniel, do you
killing
have
the
any thoughts
sourdough
on the
starter.
there?
So.
Do you like it, dislike it, don't care? What's the
there? What is the
I'll
line?
read it again.
Yeah.
In a moment, not only the arms, but his mother in whole did appear. She lifted and kissed his shiny bald head and said, there, dear.
As opposed to what else? What would
Well, he would maybe
the
hush
other option
now,
be?
or hush now, I think is the best that we've come up with so far. But he doesn't like the repetition of there. I'm willing to be outvoted. If I get one more person, I'm willing to like. This is not a baby for me. It's
Yeah.
baby.
Well, right now we've
really
got. Right now it's 2-1, so it would only go up to 2-2, and I think the ties should err on the side of keeping it. Yeah, the poet. So
an automatic positive vote to whatever. So it's basically like you're 2-2 now, and then yeah,
whatever.
It really doesn't. I don't care too much. I think it's fine. I think it's good.
Okay, Alex, are you still on my side, or are you changing? He's thinking.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
Like I said, I'm not attached to this.
Welcome to
what's
Poetry
the line again?
Throw monkey wrenches into things.
Yeah, let me hear the line
again.
Okay. In a moment, not only the arms, but his mother in whole did appear. She lifted and kissed his shiny bald head and said, there, dear.
How about and said, I'm here now, dear?
That was one of the
ones
that
one more
suggested.
syllable.
That's okay. One more syllable is not going to break it.
Yeah. No, I think I like those because there can kind of come across as there.
Well, I think the exact opposite. I think there actually comes off a lot slower. There's more weight to there than there is to I'm here now. Because there's only one.
Why don't
there's only one stress syllable, right?
I think we're getting caught.
Yeah. Well,
I just changed it for now to I'm here now, dear.
Okay.
You want me to read it like that? See what you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a moment, not only the arms, but his mother in whole did appear. She lifted and she lifted and kissed his shiny bald head and said, "I'm here now, dear." That works. I'm happy with that.
That works.
Yeah, I like that better now that I've heard it. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with it. If anyone thinks of something better soon, that's fine. But yeah, Brendan, how much longer do you have?
Well, my son is crying right outside the door, so I might have less time. But in theory, I only have like, according to this timer, I have 1 minute and 19 seconds.
Well, we've been
But
recording
I can.
for just over an hour, and that's enough for this show. We've got some stuff written. We've got a great outline for this thing. I'm
Yeah.
willing to go ahead and wrap it here if y'all are. I'm sorry? What'd you say, Alex?
Happy.
What'd you say, Alex?
He's staring into the distance.
He is
The
dumbfounded by
silence is
something.
taking him.
Is he thinking or traumatized? I can't tell.
Oh no, he had an idea. He had an idea,
right toward the end.
as usual. Dim, dim, dim.
Do I rap
dim,
and then
dim.
we hear the idea, or are you
Dim,
making it
dim.
on this episode?
We can't hear
Okay.
you. We can't hear you, bud.
now. Technical difficulties. Oracular pig. Where's my oracular pig?
We need oracular pigs.
Oh my
Let's see here.
goodness.
I'm working on it. I'll do it over here. It's fine. Oracular pig.
Oracular pig.
We can't hear you, bro. We can't hear you.
He's just making faces. That's crazy. Oh,
He'll be back. We'll figure it out.
I will put on a 5-minute timer so that I can be here for the wrap. It's not a huge deal. But
Cool. How is deep work going?
there was weep. It sucks. I'm bad at it.
Are you getting better?
Oh my. No, I have only been doing it for like a day.
Okay.
I haven't had the time. This takes a lot of practice. I was supposed to try to get something done, and I didn't. And I need to I actually have there are a whole bunch of systems I need to figure out how to put into place in order to get this to work.
Oh my goodness.
Including but not limited to like pulling the internet. Oh, excuse me.
yeah.
I've got a lot of research I got to do, but it's okay. It's fine. It's also really hard. Like I actually had to delete the Messenger app on my phone to
wow.
stop myself from going to the Brood even with it muted.
Oh wow.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
It sucks. That's fine. We'll be fine.
You will.
The first day was actually really fun because I was focusing on reading the book and I was at my part-time job. So that didn't do any like I couldn't work on anything else other than being a cashier. So it's like, all right, I have not failed because I was doing what I was supposed to do. Success. And I was reading the book, which is getting the knowledge established. But now I have to actually do all of the drawing practice I've been saying I was going to do, and oh man, getting that breaking through that barrier is hard. So
We call that the wall of awful where I worked.
the waffle,
Wall
Full
of
House.
awful.
the waffle. It's
Wall of awful.
awful.
We
I
know
know,
what
I
you're
know,
saying.
I hear you, but I'm trying to
Okay.
combine wall and awful into one word, and all I get is waffle.
Yeah, it's just a Waffle House.
A
A
wall
waffle.
full of waffles.
A wall waffle. Falafel? No.
Well, I think Alex has died or something.
I just
I'm going
texted
to
him if he
blame.
doesn't answer when his thing. He said, "Yeah, he got a call. Be back in a second." So that explains why his sound went off. He got a call.
Ah,
So
Oh, that's why he was making faces.
so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap here then, and
Wrap.
we'll go ahead and get back to this another time. But I'm gonna save this, make sure it gets to Alex so we have it saved. But I really like how this has started. It's got a tone, a little bit of a tone already. I don't think it's the full tone, but it's nice. So all right, everybody, be your family's bard. Do not turn to the right or to the left, and the Lord will be with you wherever you go. We'll see you next time in what did I sound Poetry Bootcamp? The Writer's Room. on Poetry Bootcamp.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
For the horn was blown in the heart of the night that men should rise and ride, keeping the tryst of a terrible jest, never for long untried. Drinking a dreadful blood for wine, never in cup or can. The death of a deathless dragon, that is the life of a man!
No mamby-pamby beatnik coffee lounges here. This was Poetry Bootcamp. Third Friday of every month on the Poets at War Creative Network. For more, visit joshuadavidling.com.